What's up guys, it's me Kira, and if you've ever followed anything about the Melee scene at all, I'm sure you've heard the term 20XX. It's a meme, it's a training pack, but where did it come from and what does it all mean? Created the day after EVO 2013, Mango had just made an insane run to become the first ever EVO champion, and 3 Smash veterans thought of an idea that would be known throughout the entire Smash community forever. Jesse Hertz, Zoso, and Hax Money were sitting on a bed, watching some other plebs play Melee in a hotel room, when a thought came to mind. Taken from the Super Nintendo classic Mega Man X, the year 20XX speaks of a distant future, where Melee has become 100% optimized, and everyone's execution and tech skill is absolutely perfect. In this scenario, where everyone knows pretty much every strategy and can do every possible technique, they all play Fox and they play perfectly. So the winner can really only be decided by port priority, and therefore rock, paper, scissors, which determines who gets which port. As humorous as their scenario was, it really got people starting to think, like, is the game ever gonna boil down to rock, paper, scissors, as ridiculous as that sounds? Will Fox just become the best character and all the other characters just get figured out as time goes on? Or is the future gonna be completely overrun by like these over-technical Fox players that just can't be touched by any other character? Well, I'll tell you right now, the answer is no, flat out. Well, actually, maybe. Actually, yes, it will happen. Okay, I can't really make up my mind right now, but I'll tell you why I can't make up my mind, and then maybe you guys can make up your own mind for yourselves. Point number 1, even if the tier list was absolute and concrete, these low tiers would still be able to get by just based on matchup and experience alone. This is absolutely huge. Axe has been top 10 in the world for years now, making top 8s consistently and even taking sets off the big 6, despite Pikachu being disadvantaged in almost every matchup. The key here is that nobody can actually get good practice in this matchup without playing Axe directly. Not only are there very few Pikachu mains, but none of them are even close to Axe's skill level and can only provide so much practice themselves. Instead, players must use video analysis or theory crafting to figure out how to beat Axe. And it's pretty much the same thing with other characters too. There's Hungrybox with Jigglypuff always getting top 3, there's Plub, Hugs, and Duck, who have been pushing the Samus meta despite her not being very high on the tier list, and there are Ice Climbers, who theoretically they should be losing to almost every other top tier character, but yet you see one in the top 8 of almost every major tournament there is. Some other examples of some low tiers doing well include Triple R beating Beerman and PRZ and getting top 64 at Big House, or Iori's DK beating over Triforce, a top 8 player in all of Europe. And this low tier trend isn't even over. Six, an old Link main from Germany, took a break from Melee for years, comes back one day and beats Adam, Zigetto, and Amsa all in one tournament to get to grand finals with Link. So basically, matchup inexperience is just such a huge factor, even with Melee being at the most widespread and most popular that it's ever been today. Point number 2 is that no matter how the meta might be on a global scale, at the regional scale, literally any character can succeed. Also, think about how many years the game's been out, and Pikachu and Ice Climbers and Samus players are still doing just fine. They're still up there in results. I mean, the first and second best players in the world right now use Peach and Jigglypuff. It's been over 16 years and people still haven't figured out these characters. So definitely at a regional level, there's absolutely no way that people are ever gonna phase these characters out entirely. And another thing people don't really realize is that even if the tier list was correct again, the gap between the characters is not as big as people think. For example, the gap between like the 1st and 8th characters is not this big. It's more narrow, like it's a lot closer in skill, like they can really compete with each other a lot more than people think they can. Point number 3 is that Fox might not even be the best character in the game, honestly. Sheik, Marth, and Falco all have some pretty good points and some pretty good arguments for why they might actually become the best character in the game. PPMD has said himself on like various message boards and online forums that he believes Falco actually beats Fox on Final Destination and that Marth probably wins the ground game over Fox in general. Mewtwo just has a vastly superior win rate against Fox with Marth on all these different stages. A lot of people talk about what heights Fox could be pushed to, but if Fox can really get that insane, then Marth's neutral game might just become like impossible to overcome. Maybe his disjointed hitbox are just too big for the metagame. Maybe Falco can just use his bigger hitboxes and higher priority and true death combos to really gain control over the metagame. Or maybe Sheik's reaction tech chase just becomes just possible enough to execute perfectly, and then she just becomes the best character in the game, being able to zero death pretty much anybody off of one grab. I mean, there's so many like guaranteed ideas and like hard truths that have been completely disbanded in the past, so there's no telling exactly what the future will hold. So in the end, yeah, maybe it's possible that Fox does become the best character in the game, like by far, but how long would that actually take? It could take like, 10, 15 years even. I mean, by that point, will Melee even still be around? We don't even know. Maybe Nintendo will add in patches on the Switch or something. Maybe people's hand problems could actually be the reason why Fox will never reach the ultimate peak that everyone thinks that he can. Maybe there's just enough human error, or like maybe other characters can force Fox into these 50-50 situations and just kill him off of it, whereas Fox pretty much has to win neutral too many times to actually keep up with the meta. So in the end, basically what I'm saying is there's not really enough proof to show that Fox really is completely and utterly the best character in the game, so much so that all the other characters are not worth playing. And even if he was, I think that it would take so long that we just don't even know. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching, everyone. What do you guys think? Post in the comments. Do you think Fox is just way too good? Or do you think people are just complaining about a good character, but they can actually learn to play just as well with any other character in the game? What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you next week.